lost a follower. That's what's really funny. It's funny, like maybe that's just kind of like normal. Obviously, like I'm Jesus with the with the 12 disciples, 10 disciples. How many? But he didn't have many. And it's like that with me. It's like I notice when like I lose one. It's like someone is. I'm sure like they're probably glued to like I Show Speed and Aiden Ross, all this other degenerate like kind of. I really loud. I just yell really loud. And, I don't want to do that, but it's like I was trying to like listen to Kino Casino and Tectone. I was like, there's definitely a thread between like the biggest streamers and um the zeitgeist, and it just seems to be like, oh, if you're just really loud and obnoxious, I think people just think you're confident and you think you're right, and they like it because it's like sort of ADHD. It's all very like loud sound stimulation. I think that's kind of like what these people seem to be popping off a lot. I don't do that a lot. I try to, and that's fine. That's why Jesus only had 12 disciples. You only need a few, but they're the really good ones. You don't want millions of people. They're just degenerates. You want millions of people who are just going to be like jerking off to SpongeBob memes and like whatever the fuck they do. I like went on YouTube. As like this guy called Gary Eats. He's just like this like fat middle. Uh, Sorry if I heard something. Yeah, he's like this like fat like middle-aged dude who reviews like places. And one of his videos that just came out, it was like I review like the rudest restaurant in the UK. Okay, okay, it's caught my attention. I went in it, Chinese restaurant. Okay, I just thought like, all right, well, that's kind of a bit stereotypical, isn't it? I think as a Brit, I will be happy to die on my fall on my sword to say that. I think generally when I've been to like Asian places as a white person, it might be different. Don't know. They're generally quite rude. Or they're not even that. It's probably just a cultural thing. They're just very abrupt, very to the point. Maybe that comes across as being sort of, like a bit stubborn, a bit rude. Fine. Anyway, he reviews it. It's a Chinese restaurant. And I was like hot on it because the video just dropped. I just happened to refresh my page, and it was like a minute. So as soon as I went in, I watched like the first 5 minutes because I thought, don't fuck around. You just to get the comment on. It's like, oh shit, the concrete's wet. I need to like do something quick. So I like, saw that I clocked on that it was like a Chinese restaurant. I wrote in the comments, I was like, I'm so surprised to hear that the rudest restaurant in the UK is a Chinese restaurant. I thought it was going to be a white male restaurant. Again, playing into like that kind of what next? A rude Frenchman. He replied back because he has obviously I don't know if it's him. He has a good PR company. He replied back. He's like now, and I got like quite a lot of flack. You don't see the dislikes, but you can tell if your comment isn't liked because Gary liked it, but he it gets nullified when other people dislike it, and it just instantly just it's now flatlined back to like none, which means that it's negative. It's probably going to be in like go on Blue Sky and be like, I cannot believe this level of racism that is being used. This white male is like making fun of these poor, hardworking Chinese people who just want to provide us with delicious, tasty food with MSGs and other chemicals that probably are carcinogenic. And I'm sick. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Even though white people only represent 10, 13% of the whole world, and Asian people actually represent 60%. This is disgusting. I don't like it. This is exactly why I wanted to vote for. I can't. It's just, yeah. But this is the world we live in now. Can't. I can't do anything with it. And that's the problem. it's hard to attract an audience because, and I have to be really careful what I say anyway, because like just because. But I'm telling you, like white people are a minority now. I actually tried to look up in Google, and I was a bit confused because I didn't find. Normally AI answers it, but when I typed in what population of the world is white, the AI went very quiet, and I had to like kind of like do a little digging. When I did it with Black and Asian and Latino, it went instantly. The AI was like, "Oh, it's like 60% Asian, 17% Black." When I did white, it was like, "No, I didn't want to do that." And it's like something, and I'm probably not even allowed to talk about it because it's very trendy. I don't know. What can I say? I'm gonna play this Japanese game. I'm not allowed to say anything. It's everyone's allowed to like I think secretly like their race and they want their race to do the best. But for white people, it's always considered like if there's a white only like function or something, it's racist. But I've seen, especially in like streaming communities, whole events that get organized and it's like there's no white people in it. And I go on X, I comment and I'll say like where's the token white person as a joke, and I'll get like absolutely slammed. People will be like, "You're so racist for thinking that. Like, how can you not see the one? There's a couple of there's like a massive like streamer. I think there's a prom or something. They're doing streamers prom. Um, it's catered by Popeyes chicken. I'm not allowed to make any jokes about that. I wouldn't think that would kind of be like the probably like uh, the main go-to place that I'm not dissing on it, but you'd probably think of it like McDonald's, maybe Burger King, but something like that. It's interesting. It's Popeyes, isn't it? It's very interesting that, and it's like all the people who were there were mostly, I'd say, people of color. And you got to remember, and again, I'll get probably like put on like a racist blacklist for just saying this. Why are you so invested so much about it? But in the US, only 20% of the country are people of color, but I just feel like disproportionately they seem to represent a very high amount of the entertainment industry and sports, obviously. Oh, shouldn't say that. Um, and I'm not allowed to really, I can't talk, and that's what makes me really sick. Is like I'm not allowed to talk about it, and I feel like that's a problem too. It's like I've got kids, both of them are Jewish, and they're both white, and I'm like, they're gonna have such a hard time growing up. Like I'm trying to pave the best way possible. It's just like, but I just know that. Oh no, it's just way too much hate going on there. It's like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to. You know, there's only like 16 million Jews in the world, and you've got 2 billion Muslims, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's definitely not like a bullying situation going on. It's like if it was again, it was the other way around, it'd be considered really bad. I think that's the problem. I think what's happened is essentially because like yeah, I don't want to talk about it 'cause this is I can't. It's just this is the kind of rhetoric that will just get me like done. I'm probably too stupid to be vocal about it, but I'm too smart to talk about it. But yeah, effectively, it's just like no, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm white. That's it. That's all I'll say. I'm really sorry. Um, we'll be gone probably in the next 100 years. All right. And then just enjoy. Have a really good time. But anyway, yeah, so because of that, you basically just have a disproportionate amount of people who can kind of like be your follower. Because, like, well, okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, fine. You get like you have a black streamer. Unfortunately, most black people usually are quite poor. So you have like a poor black streamer, and he'll become really popular because all of like the other and the vast majority of like black people, unfortunately, it's really sad, are poor. So they all want to follow this idol and live vicariously through their success, hoping that they can garner some kind of like. Whereas I just think like with other, especially like white people who yeah, generally they probably are like richer. They're not so bothered having to like watch streamers. They don't care so much about like idolizing people because yeah, their life probably isn't as bad. I get it because like a lot of these people, especially minorities, in the context of of the UK and America and other they don't come from a lot. So I get that kind of for the fetishization of like wanting to earn loads of money, but I just think it's gone too far because people don't have a limit. And there should be a limit. There should be a limit to how much you can earn. It should probably only be like $1 billion. Everyone should be only be able to earn that. People can. I don't know. I don't think many people will complain. I think there's only like 800 billionaires in the world. I think there's 60. I think yeah. There's like no. I think there's like 60. It's like 50, 60 million millionaires, and that could be anywhere from like a million up into a billion. So you could have someone who's 999 million, and then you've got I think it's like 8,000 billionaires or something. That's not very many, but a billion is a lot of money. It's very hard to quantify actually how big that is. So. Probably having some kind of like system in place to do it. But then people will be like, yeah, but it would this oh well people won't want to work very hard then. I'm like, no, again, you really don't understand like how much a billion is. Um and you can have like other facets as well. So for example, like if Elon Musk was limited to that, if he bought something and then like that pushed his like net worth down, and people are like, well, it's in stocks and stuff and stuff, and we change it. That's the problem. Is like everyone's just like, no, it's set in this agenda, so we can't change it. It's like, we can change it. Literally, like hypothetically, if I was able to like, if I had the power to do anything and like no one could kill me and I could just like kill anyone, and I just decided I wanted to do that, I could do it. And people are like, well, that's insane. But I'm just giving you an example. It's like the world isn't just chained to these weird rules that people made hundreds of years ago. Anyone can theoretically change them if you just get enough people behind you. It's just the people with the money don't want to lose that because, when everyone is equal, then the people who are rich aren't on the top anymore. And also, you use money a lot to control people. That's why socialism isn't really something people want because the people on top, the 1%, they don't want to lose that. They know they're very lucky and they don't want to like have to go and get work a 9 to 5 or work with normal people. They want to stay in their ivory towers. Um, yeah, it's just funny. And did you hear the smartest man in the world said he believes in God? This is just what I wanted to do, read 19 pages. I love it.
So, you're here. Let's start then.
Turn
Today
the
you're
voice
sparring
away.
with me.
Sparring? Already? You're not gonna, teach me something first?
Don't be like that. I just think it'll be faster for you to learn by doing rather than by listening to me ramble. Anyway, this'll just be a warm-up for me. Come on. We'll start off light. Promise.
Well, all right. But if we're gonna do this, we may as well go all out.
That's a good attitude. Very well. I, Yoruichi the Flashmaster, will be your teacher. Let's start with the basics.
Imagine Asian guy players. It's racist because I said he was Asian. Look at the state of this. So what, am I always like facing? Am I always lost? Oh my god. That's cool.
It's fun. We're just starting. I'm still here.
Oh!
Sorry. I'll kill you.
Well done. See what I mean?
That's pretty bad.
All right. Let's get this thing started already.
You just used a key cone move. If it lands, it'll destroy your opponent's Konpaku. Konpaku are the vessels that contain one's soul. In Game from the World of the Living terms, it's your lives.
Lives?
Ichigo, there are some rules to this fight. You'll need to destroy all of your foes' Konpaku to win. However, should your own Konpaku be destroyed, that means you'll have...
So, all I need to do is land some Kikon moves, and I'll win.
Kikon moves are the most important thing in battle. You'd do well not to forget it.
Oh my god.
Take this.
Oh, I love it.
Take this. Come on. Take this. I'll cut you down.
What about this? Check it out.
I love it.
When you reduce a foe's reishi to a certain level, you'll open them up to attack. It's a fine chance to use a key cone move. be faster for you to just try it out. Reduce my reishi and try hitting me with a keycone move.
We're just starting!
No?
What about this? Take this! Come on! I'll cut you down!
What about this?
We're just starting! Come on!
You damaged my reishi! Now for a keycone move!
You got it, baby.
Sorry. I'll kill you.
Forgive me. Reduce their reishi, create an opening, and land a keycone move. This is the key to combat. Landing a keycone move will destroy your foe's konpaku, their lives. That is a path to victory.
I get it. Well, more or less.
In that case, let me show you a bit of what I can do. I'll show no mercy, but you're not getting past. Get that blade up. We're fighting now.
This is not for that, right?
Hey! What was that for?
And now for something special. First time I've shown you this, I think. It's called Shunko. The Kido draws power to the arms and legs. The power then explodes outwards. This is what they call a trump card. Stay sharp, Ichigo. I still can't control this ability very well. Don't worry. From what I've seen, you've got a good sense for battle now. All right, Ichigo. Let me see how good your Bankai is.
Fine. Yoruichi.
Beta. Oh, it's the black woman who sang this. Oh, that's racist. No, I'll say black. No, I'll say Asian. No, I'll say China. Can't say Pakistan. Can't say Iran. The whole world's gone upside down. This music, no. Imagine recording this in the studio. I don't know what that instrument is. Is that this, yeah? Dude, I mean, this game's just broken. It's so good, dude. dear input. I hope you choke on my nut hole. What the fuck was that, man? Nut hole.
Here I come!
What'd I do?
Not holding back anymore.
Evolution.
10 Sazunkets. This is
Whoa, it's quite badass. Maybe hold on, move. Wow.
Now you'll see!
Gotta learn to block.
fast enough yet?
Oh, you little freak.
Too predictable! Better get ready!
Aye. Aye. Aye.
I can't lose!
Yes.
You make it in time?
This is a show of respect. Take it.
Right. Let's end it here for today. If you're not clear on something, feel free to come ask me anytime.
I like it. I think I could use that. It will take some time though. Seeker. Oh shit, I didn't change that. Oh shit. What's this called?
Death is inevitable. It's unavoidable. Nobody in the entire world can escape it. Not even you.
Not even you.
After a person dies, they turn into a corpse and rot. However, they leave something behind.
A soul.
It's called the Konpaku.
I didn't know that. Is this Aizen talking? Oh, I feel very good.
Once it's been freed from the restricting bounds of the flesh, the Konpaku is ready to be accompanied to a new world. The Soul Society. This world exists on a plane that's entirely different from that of the living. There, in that world, souls spend their time together until some of them are sent back in order to live once again.
Yeah. It reminds me a bit of the One Piece game. I really like One Piece Burning Blood. I like the fighting style, so I'm gonna say it. I didn't like,
This
and that's probably
cycle
gonna be
keeps the amount of souls
maybe
in the
the same.
Soul Society and the world
The
of the living
sort of
equal
like they
at
had like a
all
rock paper
times.
scissors thing with like speed, attack, and technique. And it doesn't really work. It did work on that actually because you could switch, I guess. But if you're going one-on-one, it's just stupid when you've got like characters that are just like
There are some who
inherently
choose
just
to
always
fight
gonna be stronger than
in order
others.
to protect and maintain this spiritual balance. We call them Soul Reapers.
But I don't know. This game just kind of went and it just went under my radar.
Damn!
Because I do really like Bleach. And I really wanted it to have a good game.
You
Because there was a
have done
PS3
well
game.
to come this far. But I'm afraid you
The
are
right
no
Eliza.
longer
This
valuable
doesn't even mess around
or
with it.
interesting to me. Take a good look and promise me, right here and now.
Maybe I should change it to Japanese. I do prefer Japanese. Yeah. But I just won't be able to read it. I do like the Japanese.
I can see ghosts, touch them, and speak to them too. And also, no matter how hard I try, I can't
I
get
can't
rid
get
of
rid
them.
of them.
To me, they're as real as living people. They've always been.
I did forget that detail. I love it. It's great. This is great. This looks really good. Delinquent.
Thank you very
Oh
much.
yeah, I remember this.
Now I can rest peacefully.
It's funny because like Bleach
No
is really
problem.
strange because
And yeah, you rest in peace.
it's like the first couple of seasons of Bleach just start off as like it is really unique, I suppose, because I think some people find it really jarring because it's like you look at kind of like the meta or the end stage of Bleach, and then so when you watch the first part of it, it's like he is literally just a 15-year-old who's able to see ghosts. Um, I think this actually came out around the time I was like about this age, I think. I remember like Bleach being quite special to me. Uh, because it came out like around the time when I was the age of the protagonist, which is rare because normally I feel like it's like when you watch like Dragon Ball the original, it's like you're not the same age as Goku and old GT. I wasn't like that age as well. So that's what they were trying to do. So I did kind of like attach myself more to like One Piece and Bleach because like Luffy and Ichigo were kind of like more close to my age at that time. Like, I remember watching to give you context about One Piece, 'cause I know like, obviously they talk about how intimidating that is. I think I started watch obviously I watched the Four Kids version of it when I was really young, when it was like around the same time Dragon Ball Z was being played on Toonami on Cartoon Network. That probably would have been because I have memories of like watching Dragon Ball Z and like talking to my friends in school, and I've got like memories of kind of like what's age and I was in primary school. I think I must have been like 11, 12. And I remember seeing like the Four Kids one, and I thought it was shit. I just remember seeing like the Four Kids One Piece, and they fucked it up. They ruined it. It was so hard to watch, and everything was censored beyond belief. And it was like it's not even so much the blood. It's just like they've removed like all aspects of kind of like there being any like fear to like a comical degree. Like they'll hold a gun up to someone's head, and instead of it being like a flintlock pistol, it was like it was a shoe on a spring, and it was like even as a kid, you're expecting me to like look at this and like take it seriously, and it just instantly just like massive like boner killer. I was just like, no, I don't want to watch it. And then I remember going around like this mate's house. This was years later, so like this must have been like 5 years later or so. Because you got to remember that when I watched it on Four Kids, that would have already been years behind like what the Japanese meta would have been. But we didn't have internet back then. It wasn't like you could go on YouTube like it was today, and you could just type in newest Crunchyroll clip of like one Luffy fighting Kizaru. No, 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 no. Back then it was like you kind of beat to the drum of like what was available, and that was Uh, yeah, like maybe cable TV would probably be the furthest yet. Dial-up was just beginning, but there definitely wasn't like any um proper mainstream sites like today if social media didn't exist. It would have been like RuneScape maybe. That probably was like social media to like a lot. We had MSN, um, Neopets. This was like primitive like the internet years. YouTube didn't come out till like 2006. I think Bleach had kind of already had its point at this time. Because I remember like my friend actually making Bleach AMVs when YouTube first came out, and he was like, "I got like 10,000 views in it." I was like, "Yeah, but it's a fucking AMV, and you're not gonna make money because it's early YouTube." Um, so yeah, I just remember like watching it, really liked it. Um, and I remember just like getting the DVD. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. The One Piece story. So yeah, I must have been like 15 or 16 at that point. So I think I first watched One Piece when I was like 12, like 11, 12, and I just was like the shit. The fuck. My friend was like, YouTube had just come out, and he was like, he was like, oh, have you heard of One Piece? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what did you think of it? I was like, oh, it's really shit. So I watched like the Four Kids one. And I just remember like it was being stupid. Like there was a scene where like this guy with all the armor, and they were in like, the floating restaurant. He's like, what, Don Krieg? I was like, yeah, yeah. And he was like, he instead of having a gun that shot like I think it's like harpoons at Sanji and Luffy, he's got like a gun that's like shooting like is literally like rubber suckers. He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah. It's like, I was like, have you got YouTube? And he's like, yeah, yeah. I was like, look. And I showed him. He's like, what the fuck? And it's true. Like the Four Kids, like when Don Krieg is like, his ship gets like cut in half by Mihawk. I mean, that's a whole different thing. Like, even the Four Kids version of that. But like, um, Don Krieg there's the like famous scene where like Luffy's meant to punch him with like, and he puts like that spiked armor on. I can't remember how they got around that. It was because he does like bazooka on it, and his like hands get like stigmated. He gets like he stabbed through his palm. I think they hit around that somehow as well. But anyway, there's a scene where like, Don Krieg's like he has like a gun which is meant to like shoot like harpoons, and a couple of them are like cut Luffy when he's like trying to like run up to him and punch him. But in the Japanese, sorry, in the Four Kids one, he has like, a gun, and because in the Japanese one, yeah, a few of them get like stuck in Luffy, and you see him like pulling them off like at the end. But in the Four Kids one, it's just like they're like suckers. You goes, he's like, man, that was really scary, and he's like, he just doesn't. His voice in the Four Kids one is just like he just sounds like he's never ever scared, and there's no gravity to ever any. None of the characters ever sound like there's any gravity or any like weight behind anything that's happening. So I just got turned off by it. He was like, no, 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 the Japanese one's weird. And again, back then, like I'm not really like sure how everything worked. And I was like, Japanese one. He was like, yeah, yeah, you gotta watch like the Japanese one. Look, and like he showed me it, but at that point, it just got to like Eni's lobby when Luffy uses Gear Second for the first time, and it was like the infamous scene where like he's against Bluno, and it was just like I remember watching it on his laptop, and it was like this is like YouTube just come out 2006, 2007, and it was like back then you couldn't even comment on videos, and you had like these stars that you used to like rate a video from 1 to 5. The UI was like so crude. It was like there was no basically like there was nothing higher than 480 at that point. It was like the highest you could get, and you couldn't put videos for more than like 10 minutes unless you were like a registered like program, and like there was no such real thing as like money, and there was no real such thing as like having like anything more than like 10 subs or something like that. Your browser was um and he like showed me that fight. I just remember just being like, what the fuck is like blood? And then like actually getting like this is like and back then like I think that was like what it was. It would have been like the top of like the again like the animation game, because like One Piece has generally always been like pretty good with like the animation. It's gone insanely good now. Like I'm actually really happy about how good it's got now, because I don't watch the anime. I read the manga religiously. Like I'm still waiting for 1152 to come out, whenever that is, tomorrow or whatever. But I don't watch the anime anymore just because it's a bit slow. But I will peek my head in when the fights come out, because the fights, they fucking do make a great effort. But I think like the way they cut around it is because like the parts where it's not like they're just talking and stuff. It's like you can be a bit when they do like the rare fights, they are really good. And I think like what's the most recent one that's just come out? Obviously it's Kizaru and Luffy, and I think yeah, it's like I don't want to spoil it too much. Saturn, and then so I think it's the Kuma's backstory. So that he's had like a good amount of like really epic scenes, and it's just like when they do want to like the Rob Lucci and Luffy Gear 5 was just generally one of the probably like the and you got to remember it's a TV show. That wasn't. It's not like a movie or some kind of subscribed shit. This is like something where, if you're lucky to be a Japanese like a local, you just get to watch that for like I don't know the cost of your TV subscription. And I think like as a Brit, I remember when this Christmas, Aardman Studios, which is a British company, famous for Wallace and Gromit. They released Wallace and Gromit and I forgot what it was the gnome one, Gnomey, whatever it is, I can't remember what it's called, but the one with the gnomes. And I remember like the BBC, British Broadcasting, they were like, "We're gonna play it for free as long as you've got TV subscription." And I was like, "That is a bit of a scam," but I just so happened I have it. Like at that point, it was like, oh, you could just watch it for free. And I know people are like, well, you got to pay for the TV subscription, I suppose. But like, it still was like a nice motif, like little extra that kind of as a Brit, if you had paid for that, you got the option to just watch that, and it came out, and you got to watch it way before like all the Yanks did, because I remember like all the Yanks getting really excited about it, and even like Hideo Kojima, who's from Japan, he's like, I'm really excited to watch the new. Oh, I'm gonna do the voice. Uh, really excited to watch the new the new Wallace and Gromit film. I bet it's gonna be really good. And I was like, I've already seen it, buddy. You know what was even more cool? I watched it while eating cheese and crackers because it was Christmas, and I got to do that, so that was so really cool. But yeah, I remember seeing the Bluno fight, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta stop watching this." And at that point, I think again they just about this was like the sort of pre-internet days. So back then you could literally just type in like watch One Piece, and it just like it wasn't as cryptic as it is now, where maybe you could use torrents or have VPNs and stuff. It was literally just like even on like the British websites, you could just like find like if you just type that in the first page, just be like animemovies.com. And you still get sites like that, but they do get taken down. But back then, it was so easy just to pirate stuff. And that's one thing I'll say is like back then, like the laws on piracy and copyright were just very nebulous because it was all very new at that point. So it was very hard for them to crack down on stuff. But the only downside to that was it was obviously rampant with a lot of like CP. I'm going to be really honest with you. In my whole life, and I have downloaded it's really dodgy, like from dodgy websites. I've never seen CP, and that's something I'm really I don't want to, and I never want to. But I do know that was something that was like a really big thing. Was like especially LimeWire. I think that was like the worst because I think if you know anything about like tech, like LimeWire was like the first like I've got to be careful with this P2P, so peer to peer, which is basically like what torrenting really is. It's like you've basically got like someone who has a file on their server computer domain, and effectively what you're doing is when you're torrenting, you're just kind of like slowly copying their file over the internet. But there was always just like when you were downloading the files, you just weren't always sure because it was always funny because every time you like open LimeWire, this was like the first ever stage of a um like advertisement or like a site search engine optimization because the first no matter what you search for, let's just say like Linkin Park um the first 4 or 5 like results were always the same kind of thing. It was always like super hot sexy whatever topical actress. It'd be like Jennifer Aniston sex tape has been released or something like that dot mp3. And then the next one below would be like, oh, super hot, sexy Shakira, like, wardrobe malfunction, .mp4, or something like that. And then just be like, the next one, and so forth. And it was like, and then like after those 4, it was always then like, Linkin Park AAC or like MP3 or like some really like weird like WAV or some kind of format like because you're just like downloading some like Russian dudes like like song he's just like taking off like his iTunes or something like that. And the quality was always like so crazy. And I remember like that would be something like people do, like how you had like clickbait, well you might not because it's not so common now, but it was like that as well. It'd be like Linkin Park .mp3 parenthesis like super high quality HD sound. No, HD wasn't even really a thing back then. Like super high quality, like 480K. I can't remember what the metric is they do, but it's just I remember it was always stuff like that, and then you just like downloaded it, and it literally sounded like some dudes like recorded it from like the radio onto his phone, and that's what sometimes you had to do back then. Because again, I remember the early days when I had my phone. Um, it was like probably the first proper good phone I had. Yeah, it was like a flip phone, clam. The O2X3, I even remember it. Yeah, the O2X3. So if anyone wants to look up, it was like a small, probably like a deck. It was like a deck of cards, and it could fold in half, and it flipped out. It wasn't a smartphone, but it was able to like take pictures, send texts, and go on the internet, and had like an MP3, MP4 player. But back then, I remember, yeah, so going on the internet with your phone was like a massive premium. So if you wanted to do it, the Wi-Fi didn't exist back then. So like your phones back then didn't have like Wi-Fi, and also like your even your internet probably was even if it was Wi-Fi, it didn't matter because your phone wouldn't. But that was the premium back then. That was like the chopper. That would be like the equivalent of like when you have like celebrities who can just like watch brand new films in their home. They probably got to pay like 10 grand a month. But it was like that. It was like really rich people would have like what wireless, and even then it was still like really flaky and not that good. But like people were like, right, it doesn't matter because it's wireless. Because I remember like my friend having it, and it did used to not be that good sometimes. But it was like, dude, I'm playing RuneScape on my laptop, and I remember that was like really cool. Like that was like the first time where you just kind of were like, how the fuck is that happening? Like somehow my friend is able to play a game online, and he hasn't even got a wire in his computer. Somehow it's like magic. It's like just stuff is floating in the air. It's a data. It's just like that's it. It's kind of like that. It's like strange like energy frequencies have been like rearranged to then be able to convert into data, and I'm able to then encrypt said data to then play something on a screen that then relays to then being live in context. It's crazy. Actually, when you do like think about it, you take it a lot for granted, like what's happening. Do I get to
It
run around?
spins.
You get to like go
It turns each time it touches the sun and the moon. It takes on unique shapes.
I mean, he walks a little
The
bit.
one
janky,
thing that
but
does not change.
it's an anime, so I'll let him off. I mean, yeah, it looks alright. It looks really good.
Is my powerlessness.
He does. I always said this. He looks too old. He looks like he's about 20, and I get it. That's a kind of a trope, but
I wish for strength.
because I was quite big at 50, I suppose.
If I
but
cannot protect them
I
from the
remember
wheel,
even like, because I'll be
then
honest with
give
you,
me
I did look
a
like
strong
I
blade
haven't changed frame, and I had
and
puberty
enough
really
strength
early.
to shatter fate.
So I looked a bit like this when I was his age, and I even remember like being really intimidated, especially by Chad. I was like, you want to talk about like unrealistic male body like expectations? I remember like being like this and just kind of seeing Chad, and he was just like able to like punch even when he was 16 a good at falls on his head. He was just able to take it. And he can like punch through metal and shit, and I was like, okay, I clearly just I'm never gonna be able to reach this caliber.
It's close.
I kind of want to change it with Japanese. I'm not a huge fan of like the English.
How's that for close? Jerk off!
Jerk off. Do you call women jerk offs? That's not really. Women don't get
You
really
can see
ashamed
me?
for jerk
And
offs.
you kicked me?
Huh? Stop yammering. Heck, I can see you.
Normal people can't see me. I'm a soul reaper.
That's your story? You're a soul reaper? You came all the way from this Soul Society thing to vanquish an evil spirit. That makes sense.
You out of your freaking mind?
You insolent. You can see ghosts, yet you do not believe in Soul Reapers?
Of course not. I've never seen a Soul Reaper before. I don't believe anything until I see it with my own peepers. You're probably not human, but go play Soul Reaper somewhere else.
I'm still not 1,000,000% sure in like how things work. So, I don't know. It's probably explainable. It's like when you die in this universe, your soul gets collected by the Soul Reaper. And there's two places you go. So either it goes to they become like a butterfly and they go to like heaven. And I'll get to that in a sec. Otherwise, if they're evil, which they do, I think they turn into hollows. And then the job of the Soul Reaper is to kill hollows. Because hollows want to eat living souls. And I think like hollows can't be seen by like normal people, but they can hurt them, and the Soul Reapers have to like protect them. And there's always like this constant feud between the Soul Reapers and the Hollow, because they kind of like yin and yang almost. Because Hollows need to eat souls to survive. So like, yeah, the Soul Reaper's job is to predominantly kill Hollows. So every single district in the world is assigned a Soul Reaper. And then Ishigo is able to see Rukia because, well, you'll find out he's got like Shinigami, that's what they're called, Soul Reaper powers. Yeah. Okay. Oh right, yeah. So the heaven, you go to like Rukugan or something like that. It's like you go to this place and like your soul becomes like part of this new world, and you live in like this. There's a weird kind of like Hunger Games. Like you've got like an internal elite structure where you've got all the like the elitists living, all the really rich people, nobles, and the Soul Reapers living, and then you got like the outside districts, which are like the slums, and it's like they're all kind of like fighting, and each one of them is just like full of like souls that are supposed to be kind of good, but they're not, because they're like they got gangs and killing each other. But okay, and then it's like, well, what happens to them when they die? But whatever, I don't know. But anyway, so then these souls that like die, they can like if they're good enough, they can go to the Soul Academy. No, it makes up Soul Reapers Academy, and you can like then train to become a Soul Reaper. And they've got like a whole like hierarchy. So you've got like 13 different squads, and that's from 0 up until 13. 0 is the most powerful. So okay, but it doesn't. I don't think after that it actually works in like any numerical sense. Like 1 isn't more powerful than 2, and so forth. Sorry, hang on. Squad 1 is the most powerful, Old Man Yamamoto. And then there is actually a Squad 0, but that's going way into the future. But they are actually more powerful, apparently, than... I think that each member of Squad 0 is meant to be the power of all of the 13 other 13 get put together or something. I don't know. They just ruined the power scaling towards that anyway. So yeah, and each squad has a leader, captain, and he's like uber powerful. He's like leagues more powerful than, as you'll see. So you've got like vice captain, second command. So generally what you'll find is in the show, like, they do make a good effort to kind of actually almost write in to some degree, because each, after the vice captain, I think there's like 10 squad captains, and each squad captain then he's in command of like maybe like 50, 30 men. So let's say, for example, so you'll have like squad 2. Squad 2's captain, he's like I can't actually remember, so sorry, I will get this wrong, but like you'll have squad whatever, his captain will be like Gin Ishimaru, and he's like super duper powerful. And then his vice captain is that like an emo dude, Izuru or something like that. Izu maybe. He's like this guy who's like got a sword which is like, it makes a U shape, so like when people bow, because you can like cut the head off. It's pretty cool. And then after that you've kind of got like 10 squad captains beneath him, and they usually make a good effort to probably make like a couple of them like be kind of like prominent and noticeable. But what it ends up being is the show's just got so many characters. But I remember like they did a pretty decent job of actually being able to kind of flesh a lot of them out, and a lot of them do have kind of like relationships with each other. So it's almost like any character you chose in the Soul Society arc, you could pretty much like draw a line to any other character, and actually they probably would have some kind of relationship or like drama that you could bring up. And that's what kind of made the show really good, is just like Kubo just made a really good job of being able to like flesh out the characters in a way that just kind of did create a lot of like respect and weight to like the captains, especially. That at the start of the show you're kind of thrown into a situation where there's like a murder that's happened, and they're kind of like framing Ishiko and their friends for like doing it, but they then find out it's actually someone from within. And I do remember like even towards like the end of the show, they were really it was really exciting to like see everybody's, because everyone in the Soul Reapers, you have your Zanbakuto, that's just your sword, and your Zanbakuto was like it was like alive, it had a soul in it. So everyone who used the Zanbakuto, now this is where I don't know, because you actually in the Zero Squad you find out about like this guy who actually makes all Zanbakuto. And I don't know if it's like inferred that like he makes it and then the swords are given to you and it's like random, so it's just like you just happen to get like a really good one, or if it's like he builds the sword so it has the capacity to then when you hold it your soul imbues in it, and it just so happens that like you get that. But anyway, each sword has got like a soul within it, and it's almost like your kind of like your internal monologue, and you have a relationship with that sword. So like if you like meditate, you can kind of like speak to it, and the whole point is that once you train with it like enough, because all the swords start off as just like katanas or different variations of katanas. Like once you get proficient enough with it, it allows you to activate this like Shikai, and the Shikai is just like so you know when you see Ichigo's sword, and it looks like a meat cleaver. It just looks, it's not a katana. It's just like a really big cleaver. That's the Shikai, and that basically is like the first version of like unlocking the sword's like soul. So when you used it, it would be like the sword would change to a completely different, sometimes completely different weapon, or it might even like the sword just disappears, and then it's like you've just got like some kind of insane effect. So it just basically just allowed like Kubo to just kind of at that point just like do whatever you wanted at that point. You could just be like, I'm just gonna use my Shikai. My sword allows me to like control fire. So maybe I've got a sword which can like shoot fire and propel fire, or maybe the sword disappears and now I've got like some like kind of like flamethrowers or something like that, and use something you can start using. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so it made it like a bit more interesting, and also like the enemies, they kind of just retconned them to just basically have that kind of effect. Because you get to like, you'll see in the game, you'll get like the Arrancar, who are like super mega powerful hollows, and it's just like, oh, they just basically decided to have, because Aizen, just the evil guy, he like designs them to be like the Soul Reapers, so they have swords. But then after that, because the Japanese are like very obsessed with like having like stacks of power, like it's always like you get Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. So after Shikai, you get your Bankai, and this is why like it became more exciting, because it's like every single character who has a Zanpakuto has the potential to get to Bankai, but usually it's only reserved for like the very top, like minutiae, like the world, which would be like the captains and the really high up people. There are a few vice captains who do learn how to use it towards like the show, but the majority of the characters who have it, it's like I think it's one of the prerequisites to become a captain is you have to have a Bankai. That's like one of them. So it's like a very, very powerful thing, and I think they do put like an actual metric to it as well. So I think like from what I remember, it's like the Shikai generally increases the power by like 3 times or so from your standard, and then it's like the Bankai is generally like 10 times. But I don't know that, I think that's 10 times from the base. So it's like almost 3 times better to use a Bankai than your Shikai, and 10 times better to use your Bankai than like your standard, for example. So it kind of gave it like a little bit of an almost like, okay, so when you're like getting a feel for the battles, you kind of understood things a bit better. Because I know like Dragon Ball Z generally had like a really bad like power scaling. Because they just were like, they had power levels, and then it just kind of went back to it just being like almost like a feeling. Like, it was like, he feels like he's much more powerful than me.
Wait to me. Bakudo number 1. Sight! It's useless to struggle. This is Kido, the Demon Way. A high-level spell only a Soul Reaper can cast. I would kill an insolent fool like you. But the spirit laws forbid us from killing humans, unless we've been ordered to. I'll let you off with a minor case of paralysis this time. And...
Wait!
do not presume what awaits you is not hell. It is the Soul Society. Unlike hell, it is a restful place.
What happened? Where's the ghost?
I sent him to the Soul Society. I performed Konso, the soul funeral. You call it passing on in your language. We Soul Reapers have 2 principal duties. First, to shepherd normal souls, the holes, to the Soul Society. And our second duty is to vaporize the hollows, the evil spirits who attack other souls. This is my current mission.
Hang on. If that's your mission, you mean there's a hollow around here right now? Don't stand there yapping, then go vaporize it!
Actually, I haven't been able to sense its presence for some time now.
Why not?
As if there was some force obstructing my senses.
Hey, Soul Reaper! What was that blood-curdling howl? Where did that come from?
Blood-curdling howl? Maybe... I heard it. That was the cry of a hollow. But it's like I'm hearing it through some unseen filter. What is it I'm sensing?
I mean, it doesn't matter. The whole game is just, it's gonna be a spoiler.
How could
But
this boy
it's funny because
have heard the howl before I sensed
when you
it?
know like everything towards the end of this,
That was Yuzu!
you realize like
Hey!
just
Where are
how
you going?
bad they retconned
I'm
it.
going
Because
to kill it. Stay here.
I recall that
Hold up! That's my family being
everyone,
attacked!
one of the
I'll do
biggest
your
gripes I
spell!
think people had
Now!
was is that Rukia
Don't be a
is
fool. There is nothing you can do.
she's
Be
not a
quiet
lieutenant,
and leave this to me. Understand?
but she's a squad captain. I
spiritual
think. I
pressure.
think she's like 4th seat or something.
I
Like that.
didn't sense it till now. What is happening to me?
Cutting!
Stop! What are you doing? Stop! No human strength is enough to break the Keto. If you force it, your soul will... Impossible. He broke the Keto by his own power. That cannot be. Stop!
I mean, so far it's been pretty good. But yeah, so I mean, you're gonna see it, but she gets her ass handed to her by this. And a lot of the people were like, how did she lose to like such a basic hollow?
It's a hollow. When she said evil spirit, I thought it would look human. But it's a monster. This is bad. Why am I shaking? I'm not
But yeah,
afraid of
it
that
ends
thing.
up with that they retcon it, so the really powerful guy at the end, he was like, haha, I actually set it up so this would happen. So he's actually really powerful, and I was like, alright. So you gotta remember that this is a really powerful hollow, that the last bad dude is deliberately put here so
Hollows
all of the
are
story would happen.
attracted to extreme levels of spiritual
Because
pressure.
what you don't know right now
But they also
is
attack
Rukia
opportunistically.
contains the
I've never met any
Hogoku,
human
and that is
with
what's
so
called a
much
MacGuffin.
spiritual pressure.
And a MacGuffin is a
could see a
special
Soul Reaper
item that they
break a
use in
binding
media,
spell.
which a lot of the story
I
revolves around.
believe he was looking.
So,
for
I don't
you.
know, let's think about Star Wars. I guess the plans
was
for the Death
after
Star
me?
is the MacGuffin movie.
My family being attacked. It's all because of me.
Oh, wait. That's not what I meant.
I know, she's such an idiot.
Soul Reaper.
And in the manga, she like actually gets like she doesn't just get knocked out, she gets like chomped. She's like got a massive chomp in her. She's like bleeding out, and it's like game over. She's like gonna die.
Ugly. You want my soul? Fight me like a man.
You fool!
Soul Reaper.
Reaper.
Oh my god, like how many times is this for?
If you gave him your soul, then you are a fool.
Fool.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
Do you wish to save your family?
I want to change to
Just
Japanese.
tell me how! I'll do anything! Tell me!
There is a way. Or should I say, there's only one way. You must become a Soul Reaper. Place the point of my Zanpakuto, Ghost Cutter, over your heart, and I will infuse you with half of my Soul Reaper powers.
Hey, no
Are
offense.
you sure you can do something like that?
I do not know. The chance of success is low.
Oh,
If we fail,
yeah.
you die.
Okay, so I forgot. It's still coming back to me now. So, when Rukia has the Hogyoku inside of her, it deteriorates her powers. Okay, I forgot about that. So, she basically the whole point is Uehara puts the Hogyoku in her because he's trying. This part it doesn't really make sense because there could have been like other facets. I know like it's not the smartest thing in the world. His idea was basically that he was gonna put the Hogyoku in Rukia because he didn't want Aizen to get it. And he kind of just hoped that like Rukia would just blend in to and become like because he's like a he used to be like the head of the technology branch in Soul Society, but then he gets like banished, and for some reason they just allow him to live in the human world, and that's fine for some reason because okay, but anyway. Rukia goes there and she needs to have like there's like this thing called like a soul body or something like that, and it's what like it's like what the ghost people use so they can then be seen in the human world because Rukia joins the school and it's mental. It's actually mental. So she goes to Uehara, who's like the genius who did evil experiments, so he's been banished into the human world, but he is a spirit. He's like, I can give you a body to use when you're in the human world. Oh, shit. I can't remember if she's got it already. I think she does already have it already. I can't remember. But that's why she loses.
But there is no other way, nor time to ponder it.
There's danger. Go! Run! You have to run, Ichigo!
This is the music.
Give me the sword. Soul Reaper. We'll try your plan.
Not Soul Reaper. I am Rukia Kuchiki.
Ichigo Kurosaki. Nice to meet you. Let's pray this won't be our last meeting.
Oh! Oh, you're going down, Bug. Ayy! Ah. Is that block? Look at the music.
Sorry. I'll kill
I love it. Yeah, great.
No. I meant for only half. I have lost all of my powers. And this sensation.
That's a crime.
I could not sense the Hollow's presence because that room was full of spiritual pressure. From him. That was what confused my senses. Never have I heard of a human who could see a Soul Reaper. Never have I seen a human break a binding spell. The Zanpakuto responds to spiritual pressure by changing shape. Never
Whoa.
have I seen it so huge.
That's an innuendo. That has to be an innuendo. But it is really funny. Hang on.
What in the world is this kid?
Yeah, yeah. He just ends up having just like ridiculous amounts of like spiritual power. So it's like base katanas are like fuck off huge. I'm a bit like blurry. I'm trying to, because I think they meet like Orihime and Chad, and it's like turns out like Ichigo has a power where he like look at this. He can influence people. It's like that. Why is that? Oh yeah, because it turns out that the Hogyoku still worked like very faintly, and Ishigo's power caused it to make the wishes of because okay, sorry. I love it. It's great. I think all this stuff's great. I'm not mocking it. It's really good. What? I love that you can't. What's voice 2? What's voice 2? That's voice 2. I was. Oh yeah, Con.
おい、起きろイチゴ。早く起きろってば。やべえぞって、ほら。早くしねえと。起きろ起きろ。モーニング、グッモーニングだ。イチゴ。うるせえ。人の顔の上ではしゃぐんじゃねえ。だっておめえがなかなか起きねえから俺様が起こしてやったんじゃねえか。
I'm not gonna say that.
何なんだ一体。
You know,なんだで。
じゃねえよ、遅刻だよ。
でしかいとかよ。
早く着替えた方がいいんじゃねえの。
はいよ、あんですよ。
それか、
それか、もうでか、や、でれやかた。
お前に行かせたら、
お前に、
だだ下がるだろうがよ。
俺よ。
いっそサボっちまってもいいんだぜ。
なんで？
偉そうに言いやがって。どこのどなた様だって話だよ。
お茶ついでやで。
唐倉町の死神代行。
それの最高。
気さくな相棒、コンサメだら。
コンサナ。
聞いてんのか。
コン。えねえよこんね。
頼むから。俺が学校行ってる間、おとなしくしとけよ。
He has a very good Japanese one.
だだ行ってこい。 この世紀のイケメンモッドソウルコン様がイチゴたちと出会うまでには聞くも涙語るも涙の壮絶な物語があったわけだ。
He was an evil, yeah, I remember this. He was an evil soul from your horror shop.
イチゴの野郎はルキアの姉さんに代わってホローを倒す死神代行業を続けてやがるんだ。最初に助けたのはクラスメイトの超美人井上
Yeah,
さん
he's
だ。
like a pervert.
何でも襲ってきたホローは井上さんの兄貴だったんだって。
This is great. I mean,
そう
all
に
this
ゃ
stuff's
妹の
really
い
good.
るあいつには許せる相手じゃなかったはずだぜ。最後は井上さんの気持ちが届いて兄貴も正気を取り戻して消えていったんだよ。いやー、いい話だぜ。さすが井上さんだ。そんで次に助けたのが佐渡安虎、通称チャド。イチゴのダチでガタイのいい
Yeah, he's like insanely strong.
柴田っつ少年の霊が入ったインコがいて、そいつは殺人犯がフォローになったやつに付け狙われてたんだが、チャドとイチゴで守り抜いたんだってよ。
Yeah, yeah.
死
Good.
神が切って洗い流せるのは死後の罪だけ。生前から
That's the episode with like the girl that falls on him.
そうだ。
And he's like,
そうして次に出会ったのがこの
are you
俺さん
okay?
だ。
And he's like, I'm
俺が
absolutely
イチゴの
fine.
体に入れば
Girl
姉さん
doesn't
の力
bend
なし
over.
でも死神化できる。
Yeah, look.
スピードスターのヒーローだ。ただ俺にもいろいろあってな、廃棄処分が決定してたんだけど、ルキアの姉さんが俺を助けてくれたんだぜ。まあイチゴの野郎も死神になって誰かを守る力ってのを手に入れられたんだ。廃病院じゃホローを倒すついでに全国放送デビューもしたって話じゃねえか。俺もキュートな姿を見せたかったぜ、チキシャー。
Isn't it mad to think like you can draw like a manga and then like it's gonna become a huge game and everyone's gonna play it. It's crazy, isn't it?
お、井上か。おってなんだよ。お前ら
Look
そんな
at
にじっと
this.
見てる。
Look at her. She's meant to be 15.
イチ
They're all meant to be
ゴ、お前は
50.
最近何か隠していることはないか。
あ？隠し事？
I'm like, look at Chad. Why would Chad get bullied?
最近怪我して
Why
る
would
こと
Chad get bullied? Like, look at the size of him. Like, you have to make it make sense. I remember like this really funny. Yeah, it's like in. Well, there's two. One of them is like in. I think it's the Andrew Garfield. I think that's right. Version of Spider-Man, because they like remade it. And the one they generate, because everyone's like biased to like the trilogy. You got like the I've forgotten his name. Tom Holland. So you've got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, or Tom Holland. It's kind of like your three trilogy of Spider-Mans, depending on probably what era of like you were on. If you're like a millennial, Gen A, or a 90s kid. But I was up with the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, and I always thought that was a good transition because he was like a bit of a nerd. He didn't look like ridiculously like toned, and then that kind of worked with him being Spider-Man because like he was still like really like scrawny looking, but he was just really strong. But then it's like in the Andrew Garfield one, I think I tried to watch the first episode like because they have to like do like for him getting the powers in each one. It's like when he gets like the Spider-Man powers for the first time, you like see him at school and he's getting bullied by like kids. And I remember watching it. I was like on the ship. I was in the Merchant Navy. I was like, those kids aren't even like as big or as attractive as him. So how is he even getting bullied? Like he could easily just like kick their asses or just like rip into them. But for some reason he was just like, oh no, I'm getting bullied. And he's like, it didn't make any sense. And then he gets the powers and he's like, I'm making them duty. it's a good game. I'm really enjoying it. Because I saw the reviews and I was like, that's the thing when you get like the reviews of these games. Is I always got to think like the critical people who give this game a review. It's always mostly the biggest thing is going to be like, are you a fan of the series? I think if you're going to be a fan of the series, that's always going to add probably like out of 10, like 3 or 4 points to it. So I think to give you context, it's like if I work for like IGN and I had to like review a Star Trek game, I know nothing about Star Trek. I don't care about Star Trek. I don't like the lore. But if I was forced and I had to make an unbiased opinion, I as much as I probably will try my hardest, unless the game is just like absolutely fucking exceptional, I think I'm always just going to give it a slightly not as good review because I'm not a fan of it. And I think that's like the same with like, you know, even like big games like the Dragon Ball Z games and stuff come out. Like if you just happen to be a reviewer and you don't really like that sort of genre, in a way you almost want that person probably to give that game a go. But in realistic terms, like probably someone who's new to the game isn't gonna just pick up a game and just play it. They'll probably like want to watch the manga or like the content first. But I find that sometimes that does really like jar the reviews when you just got like a lot of critical reviews, and it's like you can tell the person has like no infinity for like the content. I just think buying a game like this and not being probably proficient in it, it just seems. I know it does sound like it's the sort of thing where people will be like, it's a very exclusive. Not very exclusive. Very like a bit alienating, I suppose. But I don't know. I don't know.
Ah, そういうことか。なんでもねえよ。ちょっといろいろあっただけだ。
そうなの？
イチゴ。
あ？
わかった。
ありがとな。
黒崎くん、あまり怪我しないでね。
Imagine hearing someone say that to you.
サンキューな、井上。
It is like pretty, like, I guess, like corny when you say that.
良い友達ではないか。あやつらのためにも無傷でフォローを倒さねばな。何？敵に反撃をさせる暇もなく、さっさと片付けてしまえばいいだけのこと。さあ、今日も特訓だ。
余計な心配かけるわけにいかねえしな。
I love
いたぞ、
it.
イチゴ。絶対に逃がすな。
街中でも関係なしかよ。ほんと好き勝手しやがる。
相手は雑魚だ。そいつを練習台にさっさと死神の戦いになれるのだぞ。
ああ、分かってるよ。怪我すんなって言われたばっかだしな。切り伏せ悪いな。
You fuck, mate. What?
バリーナ、てめえを切るぜ。避けてみやがれ。今のはヤバかったぜ。おっしゃ
God, bro.
バリーナ。
Oh.
バリーナ、
Take
てめえを
it.
切るぜ。
I think I got it.
あれ黒崎くんだ。
井上、何やってんだこんなとこで。いえ、こっちじゃないだろ。
Yeah, she just lives at home
私の家
alone,
壁
no
が壊れち
parents,
ゃっ
and
て
no
修理
brother.
中なんだよ。
It's really creepy.
だから今住んで
It
る
is,
ホテルがこの
some
近
of
く
it
でね。
gets a bit. You can tell it's like written in the early 2000s.
フォローに
It's
関
all
す
a
る
bit
記憶
very
は
like.
ルキアが消したんだよな。ああ、そうい
I mean,
や、
look
そう
at
だった
what
な。
it looks like.
そうだ
I'm
った
allowed
の
to come out
っ
now.
て私この話黒崎くんにしたっけ。
いや、あれだ。確か、タツキがんな感じの話をしてたような。まあ、この辺も危ねえから、気をつけて帰れよ。また明日な。
また明日ね。黒崎くん。
Actually, can we talk about that? Like, why is that appropriate? Like, why does she look like that? I remember being very uncomfortable about her, like, when I was younger. I didn't think it was, like, attractive. I just thought it was very distracting. Like, her tits, why are they so big?
本当は何か違う。どこか懐かしい。でもとても怖いものが現れて、誰かが助けてくれた。たつきちゃんも言ってた。その時いたっていうパジャマ姿の女の子、それにもう一人の男の子。あれって黒崎くんだよね。うまく思い出せないけど、私のことを守って。私は今でも記憶の中で黒崎くんを探してる。
Hey. What does that mean? I mean, I'm loving the game, so I think it looks great. Everything's pretty fun. I like the fighting style, it's pretty good. I'm intrigued to see like how it gets, because I'm aware like my character at the moment is like the weak sauce. Once you start getting into like the Bankai and the Hollows, that's probably going nuts.
チャートじゃねえか。何してんだこんなとこで。
イチゴ、お前こそ珍しいな。
I love that he's like, I
家とは反
don't
対だ。
know, Colombian or like when he's in Japan.
ああ、
How did you get here with our rigid, very difficult for immigrants to live here system?
あれだ、妹たちがケーキ食いたいってんで、こっちの方の店まで買い出したよ。
そうか。
チャドこそどうしたよ。散歩か。
いや、知り合いに話があった。
Bakery's not open.
その帰りだ。なあ、イチゴ。 爆発のような音がしたか。
おい、大通りで事故だってよ。車がすっ飛んで横転してるって。
事故か。大きいようだが。どうした？
I think the game is great. I can't lie. It's like I'm watching it. In a sense.
一瞬感じたあれは
It's pretty. It is good.
怪我人がいるかもしれん。俺は様子を見に行ってくる。大丈夫。俺の体が頑丈なのはイチゴだってよく知っているだろう。
そりゃそうかもしんねえけどよ。
俺が行くことで助けられる奴がいるかもしれない。なら迷っている暇はない。
So hardball.
おいチャド、だったらお前は怪我人を連れ出してくれ。事故の様子は俺が見てくるから。
なるほど。なら任せてくれ。
頼んだぜチャド。
ここにいたかイチゴ。準備しろ。近くにフォローが。
ああ、分かってる。さっさと行こうぜルキア。
Use your glove. Use the glove. She has a glove and she. I don't know what she is. I don't know. How about you die? That sounds really stupid. Take it, not goblin.
悪いな、てめえを切るぜ。
That's good. Space, I don't know what he calls it.
一人でこの人数を運んだの危険なことを。でも助かったよ。
問題ない。このくらい。それよりもまだ向こうに怪我人がいる。助けてやってくれ。
ありがとう。
あれは転校生。この感じ確か前にも。
Very ambiguous. I do remember this episode.
ぼんやりと覚えているのは
Yeah.
喋るインコを預かったこと。
It was a kid.
柴田雄一。少年の魂がインコに取り付いていて、俺はそいつを守ろうと走り回っていた。
I mean, the
柴田
the
雄一。
pictures are so good. That's what really separated him. He's a
何を
pro
言っ
dude.
てるんだ俺は。しかしこの記憶。俺は確かにイチゴに助けられ
It's
た。
such a good picture.
だがあいつはなぜかそのことを隠している。さっきの態度もどこかおかしい。そもそも隠し事が得意なやつじゃない。だがイチゴが隠したいなら言われるまで待とう。
I do actually own the books of Bleach from 1 to 20, I think. I do, like I remember my friend selling me from 1 to 10 for like 10 quid. I was like, yeah. One more.
Oh! ずいぶん遅かったな、やんちゃ息子。連絡くらいよこせってんだ。寂しいでしょうが。うるせえ。
He's like ridiculously like buff, strangely single dad. He's like got pharmacies. Doesn't make any sense.
いい年こいて息子離れできてねえのか。健全な高校生が門限なんざ守ってられるか。こっちとらフォロー退治じゃねえや、除霊で忙しいんだよ。
はあ、出た出た。俺には見えないからって幽霊見える自慢ですか。羨ましいぞ。
羨まれるようなことじゃねえよ、バカ親父。
いや、本心で言ってんだぜ。俺だって幽霊が見えて。
How does that make any sense? I'm gonna read it to you. I being was dead serious about it.
まさきに会えたらって時々思うんだよ。
あんなアホみてえな家張ってたら恥ずかしくて出てこれねえんじゃねえか。
何を？俺が丹精込めて作り上げたスキツキマサキフォーエバー仏壇に何の文句が。
そういうセンスに問題があるっつってんだ。
まあいいや、会えなくても俺の愛は伝わってら。俺だけじゃねえ、ユズもカリンももちろんお前もマサキのこと大好きだってあいつも分かってるだろうよ。
See, what you gotta remember is he's hustling everyone. He knows exactly what's happening. And he's just feigning being stupid. He knows exactly what the fuck is going on. And to make it worse is that technically Ichigo shouldn't really be in danger because he should know. Yeah, I mean, if Ichigo was, if he was gonna die, his dad would die.
母親のことは伝えておらぬのだな。
So I mean, sometimes the retconning just it ruins it.
おふくろはあの世で笑ってる。親父はそう信じてる。だからそれでいいんだ。
そうか。
親父は知らねえんだよな。おふくろの魂はもう。俺が9歳の時、おふくろは死んだ。
Too much trauma.
当時
Too much trauma.
どんな嫌なことがあってもおふくろのそばに帰るだけで全てを忘れることが
I
できた。
wonder why my channel isn't growing. I don't know.
俺だけじゃない。
Everyone just wants to live in La La Land and just like be told good things. No one wants to do.
つまるところその頃のうちはおふくろを中心に回ってた。だけどあの雨の日、俺は川に落ちそうな女の子を助けようと走り出して、おふくろがそれを止めようと飛び出して、
I have to actually like read
気
this
がつけば
myself.
女の子は消えていて、俺を守ろうとしたおふくろが
I don't know Japanese.
血まみれで倒れてた。
I have no desire to learn it.
みんなから
I don't. I'm arrogant. I just don't take desire. I just don't think it's a good use of time. I'm sorry if you learn languages. If you learn loads of languages, really great. I just think we don't need to know them really now. There's some apps on my phone that are just really.
どういうことだよ。てめえ。
This is the main one. This is the one This is the one who got away.
6年前だ。それがどうしてここにいる？どうしてフォローと一緒にいるんだよ。
6年前か。そんな昔のことは覚えておらんが。なるほど。お前はわしを見たことがあるのだな。
そうだ。てめえ一体何者だ。フォローの手下なのか、それともフォローに操られてんのか、なんとか言えよ。
どれも外れだ小僧。
Can't play as these guys.
てめえは
わしの姿を見ても生き残っておる奴がおったとは。お前
Brand
運
Fisher.
の良いやつよの。
なんだよそれ。
だがその運もここまでよ。この姿を見せた以上、お前の魂食らわずに返すわけにはいかん。
どういうことだよ。さっきのガキてめえの体の一部だってのか。
グランドフィッシャー、奴のコードだ。自らは姿を隠し、首から生えた疑似餌に人の形を取らせ、それが見えた人間。つまり霊的濃度の高い魂を持った人間のみを襲って食らう。そうすることで自らも高い力を得、54年の長きにわたって我々死神を退け続けてきた。そういうやつだ。知名度は中の上。俺こうしてソ
I love it.
ウルソサエティのデータベースにしっかりと記録が残っている程度には名が知れておるということだ。
言うねガキ。
It's great. I really like this.
それにしてもわしの姿が見えるやつが多いの。大量だわい。
それじゃあの時俺が助けようとしたのはこいつの疑似餌で、それはつまり俺がこいつの罠にはまってたってこと。
嬉しいや嬉しいや。
それはつまりおふくろはこいつに。
こりゃ全部わしの腹に収まりきるかの。
イチゴ。
青いの小僧。ギャ
イチゴ。自戒せよロンダニーニの黒犬。一読し焼き払い、自ら喉をかき切るがいい。
やめろルキア。今回おめえは引っ込んでろ。俺一人でやる。
バカを言うな。奴は強い。言ったろ、奴は50年以上も死神を退け。
うるせえ。頼む、手出さないでくれ。これは俺の戦いだ。
Stupid. He wouldn't know. Ridiculous. Just use yourself. This is. Who cares? But it's cool.
どうした小僧。そうして逃げておるだけではこのわしを傷つけることなどできんぞ。
こいつ今までの奴らとは格が違う。だけど負けねえ。こいつはおふくろを殺した奴だぞ。俺がこいつを倒すんだよ。こっからだぜ。
切れはせる。切れはせる。
周りを詰める。
ぬるいわ。
避けてみる。
ぬるいわ。
くらえ。イス。まだ。イス。これで。
Take it, not goblin. So good.
てめえを切るぜ。どれだけてめえが強かろうが関係ねえ。今まで積んできた経験全部ぶつけてその角ぶった切ってやる。
今のやつを動かしているのは自責の念だ。だが今のやつは死神となって初めて自分自身のために戦っているのだ。そんな戦いに私が手を出して勝利したところでイチゴはそれを喜ぶだ
Stay
ろ
out
う
of
か。
it.
手を出すな。私が手を出して勝利したところでイチゴは決してそれを喜びはしない。そしてそれ以上に
誇りはどうなる。 お前が今力を貸せばなるほど奴の命は救われるだろう。だがそれは同時に奴の誇りを永遠に殺すことになる。
誇りが何だというのですか。命に比べれば誇りなど。
いいか、よく覚えておけ。戦いには2つあり、我々は戦いの中に身を置く限り常にそれを見極め続けなければならない。命を守るための戦いと誇りを守るための戦いと。
Like this is like the translation of Japanese English. It sounds really weird. So,
これは誇りを守るための戦い。
actually
手を出してはならぬ戦い。
It's like a westernized.
手を出すな。手を出すな。手を出すな。手を出すな。手を出すな。
It just shows like the sort of like the values of Asia versus like I guess the Western cultures.
お前は若い。若いがゆえにたやすく怒り、怒るがゆえに試み出す。そして試み出すがゆえに刃は鈍る。我だ小僧。そして敬意を表しよう。お前はわしが出会った中で最も若く、最も短慮で、そして最も弱い死神だった。
余裕だぜ。避けてみやがれ。もらった。ぶっ飛べ。行くぜ。ここからだ。もらった。ここからだ。
Play my ass.
てめえを切るぜ。光は刃を鈍らせるか。確かにそうかもしれねえ。だけどな、グランドフィッシャー、あんた一つ勘違いしてる。てめえ程度のやつを倒すのにはその鈍った刃で十分だってことだよ。フィッシャー、そして敬意を表しよう。てめえは俺が出会った中で一番年食ってて、一番汚くて、そして一番勘に触るフォローだったぜ。
終わりだ小僧。貴様は最も弱い死神だった。やるじゃねえか。
ここから叩き切る。ここからだ。切り伏せ。悪いな、てめえを切るぜ。
わしは不死だ。
なあ、
なんだ。
死神の力は戻りそうか。戻りそうでもそうでなくてもいい。俺をもうしばらく死神のままでいさせてくれ。俺は強くなりたい。もっともっともっと強くなってフォローから守るんだ。狙われてる奴らを強くなって倒すんだ、あいつを。でなきゃおふくろに合わせる顔がねえんだよ。
So yeah.